Dizzy, thanks for joining us today. First of all, it's the Blast quarterfinals on Thursday. How are you feeling coming into that?
Yeah, I think the boys are in a pretty good place. I think we've had a couple of really good days of training, leading into Thursday. So look, pretty excited. And then the boys are up and about. They're excited, obviously, and we're just keen. We've had a good meeting on Monday. We spoke a bit about Lancashire, who we don't get to play that often. So it was a good opportunity for the lads to. Luke Dunning's been brilliant. He's put some footage out for the boys to look at in their own time, just on some of the players that they may not have seen a lot before, other than a bit on TV. So, and then we just discussed our game plan, some of their players, and how we're going to go about our game come Thursday.
It's been another fantastic Blast campaign for the Sharks. Obviously, this is our third consecutive quarter-final. Is there anything you can take from those past games? Against the loss against Durham last year, and obviously the loss against Worcestershire last year, and the win against Durham 2 years ago.
Yeah, Durham win a couple of years ago. That was really pleasing game to play and get to finals day. Lads had worked really hard, but I think there was a real calmness around the squad. Real calmness around the squad, and the lads just went out there and performed their skills to the best of their ability. We had that same calmness last year against Worcester. We came up against a pretty special knock. I thought the lads, by and large, we played that game quite well. It's just, Mo and Ali, obviously, sometimes you have to take your hat off and acknowledge a pretty special knock, and he certainly played well. But look, obviously, we're going into this game with a really open mind, really clear idea how we're going to go about facing Lancashire. And just going out there and implementing our skills to the best of our ability with the smiles on our faces and just have a bit of fun with it.
And there's some great experience in the squad now of players that have played the biggest events throughout the world. I'm sure that can only help when coming into important matches like this.
Oh, without a doubt. And I think we sit in our dressing room and have our discussions and our team chats. And what's really been really good is that the chats have been driven by the players. The coaches where they're facilitating, but the lads are talking to each other about how they're going to go about it, the players that they've come up against in the opposition in previous fixtures or wherever they've played against them or with them in some cases. So using that knowledge and experience in the dressing room, I think, has been really important. And obviously Luke Wright leading the side very well. We've got guys vastly experienced. David Visa, Ravi Bapara, to name a couple, Danny Briggs. These guys have been absolutely fantastic, and the conversations that the lads have been having, in and around our T20 has been a real feature.
And you touched on it at the start. You said the last time the Sharks faced Lancashire in a T20 match was in a quarter-final here in 2011.
Yeah.
They're obviously not a team that we face very often, especially in this format. So how do you go about preparing for opposition like that?
Look, we have our team chats, and players look at footage and have some really good discussions around certain players that they may not have seen much, and the style of play that Lancashire play. So we've had good conversations about that, and then it's just a matter with the preparation. It's having that in mind when you go into the nets with a bat and ball in hand, and we just want to make sure that we're continually getting our skills right and preparing in a real precise way, about each individual player based on the role they're having in the team and being able to prepare specifically for that. So it's been really good. These last couple of days, couldn't be happier. It's been absolutely fantastic.
And sadly, it's now been confirmed that you and the club will be parting ways in 2021. How good would it be to depart with a trophy?
Oh, look, it'd be lovely for sure. But look, it's about the players and how they're going about it. And I think everyone would love to see Luke Wright lifting that trophy. But look, we understand we've got a tough challenge coming up against Lancashire. But we're excited and energised by that. It's not every day you get to play a quarter final, and the lads are up and about. They're pretty excited for it. So hopefully we can play well against Lancashire and give ourselves a chance and getting to finals day.
And just moving on from T20 briefly, Essex won the Bob Willis Trophy over the weekend. How do you evaluate Sussex's performance in that competition this year?
Yeah, look, obviously look at the score line, and we'd won 1, lost 4. I think I'm positive we can take out of the Bob Willis Trophy is that in 4 of our 5 games, we were actually ahead of the game at the halfway stage of the game. So we had first innings leads. So to give that advantage up, was in those games was quite disappointing. So that's something that our batters need to be better at and be more aware of, is just identifying those periods, those challenging periods, and getting better at that and minimising that damage because that changes games. So that was a bit disappointing. But the positive is that we found ourselves in positions where we're actually leading the game against some very good sides. You mentioned Essex, Bob Willis champions, Bob Willis Trophy champions. We were actually well ahead of the game, and we should have won that game. So it's certainly not doom and gloom. A few guys were given opportunities. Certainly young Jack Carson, grabbed his opportunity with both hands and bowled beautifully throughout the campaign. Other guys got opportunity, young guys, Henry Crocombe, James Coles had an opportunity last game, Tom Clark played 4 games. And each player showed something, and showed glimpses of what we know they're capable of. So that's really exciting.
Yeah, you touched on it there. That was my next question about some of the performances from the youngsters. The future's bright for Sussex, obviously.
Yeah, most certainly. It's something that the club and our supporters should be very excited about going forward. There's a lot of very good cricketers, good people here at the club, and look, the supporters should be very optimistic about what the future holds, because the future is very bright for Sussex County Cricket Club with a lot of these young players coming through.
And can we expect to see any of them in the squad on Thursday, or is it likely to be a similar squad to the one that faced Essex in our last blast match?
Yeah, we'll probably name an extended squad. We're just waiting on a couple of things. A couple of niggles that we just want to make sure that players are fully fit and ready to go. So we'll wait on that. So we'll delay naming the squad, just so until we're really clear on where we're at with a number of people.
Great, thanks Dizzy, and best of luck on Thursday.
Good on you, mate. Thanks.